Job chapter 6. Job said, "It's impossible to weigh my misery and grief. They outweigh the sand along the beach, and that's why I have spoken without thinking first. The fearsome arrows of God all-powerful have filled my soul with their poison. Do oxen and wild donkeys cry out in distress unless they are hungry? What is food without salt? What is more tasteless than the white of an egg? That's how my food tastes, and my appetite is gone. Asterisk how I wish that God would answer my prayer and do away with me. Then I would be comforted, knowing that in all of my pain I have never disobeyed God. Why should I patiently hope when my strength is gone? I am not strong as stone or bronze, and I have finally reached the end of my rope. My friends, I am desperate, and you should help me, even if I no longer respect God all-powerful. Asterisk, but you are treacherous like streams that swell with melting snow, then suddenly disappear in the summer heat. I am like a caravan, lost in the desert while searching for water. Caravans from Tema and Sheba thought they would find water. But they were disappointed, just as I am with you. Only one look at my suffering, and you run away scared. Have I ever asked any of you to give me a gift or to purchase my freedom from brutal enemies? What have I done wrong? Show me, and I will keep quiet. The truth is always painful, but your arguments prove nothing. Here I am desperate, and you consider my words as worthless as wind. Why, you would sell an orphan or your own neighbor. Look me straight in the eye, I won't lie to you. Stop accusing me falsely, my reputation is at stake. I know right from wrong, and I am not telling lies. Job chapter 7. Why is life so hard? Why do we suffer? We are slaves in search of shade, we are laborers longing for our wages. God has made my days drag on and my nights miserable. I pray for night to end, but it stretches out while I toss and turn. My parched skin is covered with worms, dirt, and sores, and my days are running out quicker than the thread of a fast-moving needle. I beg you, God, don't forget. My life is just a breath, and trouble lies ahead. I will vanish from sight, and no one, including you, will ever see me again. I will disappear in the grave or vanish from sight like a passing cloud. Never will I return home, soon I will be forgotten. And so, I cry out to you in agony and distress. Am I the sea or a sea monster? Is that why you imprison me? I go to bed, hoping for rest, but you torture me with terrible dreams. Asterisk I'd rather choke to death than live in this body. Leave me alone and let me die, my life has no meaning. What makes you so concerned about us humans? Why do you test us from sunrise to sunset? Won't you look away just long enough for me to swallow? Why do you watch us so closely? What's it to you, if I sin? Why am I your target and such a heavy burden? Why do you refuse to forgive? Soon you won't find me, because I'll be dead. Job chapter 8. Bildad from Shua said, "How long will you talk and keep saying nothing? Does God all-powerful stand in the way of justice? He made your children pay for their sins. So why don't you turn to him and start living right? Then he will decide to rescue and restore you to your place of honor. Your future will be brighter by far than your past. Our ancestors were wise, so learn from them. Our own time has been short, like a fading shadow, and we know very little. But they will instruct you with great understanding. Papyrus reeds grow healthy only in a swamp, and if the water dries up, they die sooner than grass. Such is the hopeless future of all who turn from God and trust in something as frail as a spider's web. They take hold and fall because it's so flimsy. Sinful people are like plants with spreading roots and plenty of sun and water. They wrap their roots tightly around rocks. But once they are pulled up, they have no more place, their life slips away, and other plants grow there. We know God doesn't reject an innocent person or help a sinner. And so, He will make you happy and give you something to smile about. But your evil enemies will be put to shame and disappear forever. Job chapter 9. Job said, "What you say is true. No human is innocent in the sight of God. Not once in 1,000 times could we win our case if we took him to court. God is wise and powerful, who could possibly oppose him and win? When God becomes angry, he can move mountains before they even know it. God can shake the earth loose from its foundations or command the sun and stars to hold back their light. God alone stretched out the sky, stepped on the sea, and set the stars in place, the Big Dipper and Orion, the Pleiades and the stars in the southern sky. Of all the miracles God works, we cannot understand a one. God walks right past me, without making a sound. And if he grabs something, who can stop him or raise a question? When God showed his anger, the servants of the sea monster fell at his feet. How, then, could I possibly argue my case with God? Even though I am innocent, I can only beg for mercy. And if God came into court when I called him, he would not hear my case. He would strike me with a storm and increase my injuries for no reason at all. Before I could get my breath, my miseries would multiply. God is much stronger than I am, and who would call me into court to give me justice? Even if I were innocent, God would prove me wrong. I am not guilty, but I no longer care what happens to me. What difference does it make? God destroys the innocent along with the guilty. When a good person dies a sudden death, God sits back and laughs. And who else but God blindfolds the judges, then lets the wicked take over the earth? My life is speeding by, without a hope of happiness. Each day passes swifter than a sailing ship or an eagle swooping down. Sometimes I try to be cheerful and to stop complaining, but my sufferings frighten me, because I know that God still considers me guilty. So what's the use of trying to prove my innocence? Even if I washed myself with the strongest soap, God would throw me into a pit of stinking slime, leaving me disgusting to my clothes. God isn't a mere human like me. I can't put him on trial. Who could possibly judge between the two of us? Can someone snatch away the stick God carries to frighten me? Then I could speak up without fear of him, but for now, I cannot speak. Job chapter 10. I am sick of life. And from my deep despair, I complain to you, my God. Don't just condemn me. Point out my sin. Why do you take such delight in destroying those you created and in smiling on sinners? Do you look at things the way we humans do? Is your life as short as ours? Is that why you are so quick to find fault with me? You know I am innocent, but who can defend me against you? Will you now destroy someone you created? Remember that you molded me like a piece of clay. So don't turn me back into dust once again. As cheese is made from milk, you created my body from a tiny drop. Then you tied my bones together with muscles and covered them with flesh and skin. You, the source of my life, showered me with kindness and watched over me. You have not explained all of your mysteries, but you catch and punish me each time I sin. Guilty or innocent, I am condemned and ashamed because of my troubles. No matter how hard I try, you keep hunting me down like a powerful lion. You never stop accusing me, you become furious and attack over and over again. Why did you let me be born? I would rather have died before birth and been carried to the grave without ever breathing. I have only a few days left. Why don't you leave me alone? Let me find some relief, before I travel to the land of darkness and despair, the place of no return.